Happy Self Love Sunday. I am Mo Sass, the host of Self Love Sundays with Sass. I am a certified vision and empowerment coach who loves to come here every single Sunday so we can talk about all the ways that we can better our best. And here's the thing. Some of you are so worried about your past that you're not in the present and messing up your future. I'm going to say it again. So many of you are worried about your past that you are not present and you're messing up your future. And the reason this came up is because I had a client who we had a specific goal that he was supposed to meet this weekend. We were taking some things, lowering some things this weekend that he wasn't supposed to do. And so I'm the biggest accountability coach with my clients. So I messaged him and I'm like, how did it go? And he said, well, he was disappointed in himself because he didn't meet, certain things. And I said, well, here's the thing. We do not and will not give any more energy or focus towards anything negative. What we will do is refocus, right? And do better today and let go of yesterday. Do better today and let go of yesterday. Yesterday is gone. And the problem is most people don't know how to leave things in the past. So what happens is what happened yesterday is carried over into today. So we're not living for today. And then that's carried over in tomorrow till tomorrow, like in the next day. So it's this repeated chain of past events. So you're never getting to the present. And so what happens when you're never in the present, you cannot get to the future. So everything is dependent upon what happened yesterday. You have to learn to let it go and grow. You have to learn to let it go so you can grow. So what do I mean by that? That means whatever happened yesterday, the only thing we're supposed to do with that information is use it as data to get better for the next day. So that means that, okay, that didn't work out. So today, you do your best to become 1% better. So how can I get 1% better? Number one, focus on the present. All I want you to do about what happened yesterday is use that as a building block and learn from it. What was the lesson? If you can't get the lesson in the present moment, then you let it go until you do. But I need you to get back refocused, get focused on your goal for the day, get focused on the things that you need to accomplish. So that leads to another way to get 1% better is to make sure you have your things written down. All the things that you need to get done for the day should be written on the schedule. Make sure you have a schedule. If it's not, I'm old school, y'all, so I write down everything. There are apps now that you can write these things down. You want to block out your day. If you have important projects to get to, I promise you want to do the hard stuff first. Okay? Another way to become 1% better is give yourself grace. You didn't know what you didn't know, right? So what that happened yesterday. Okay, you didn't know any better or you got caught up. Now what are you going to do about it today? You have to learn to say, so what? Now what? The next thing to get 1% better, get into action. Please don't sit around and wallow. If you were supposed to work out yesterday, as an example, and you didn't get to it, today there's no talking, today there's no hemming and hawing. Today you get your butt up and you go and you work out, even if that means just walking. Right now, I'm literally just walking like 3.5, maybe 4 miles in the morning. Like, just get up and go. And the thing is, people go, well, it's not easy. Oh, here's the thing. It never starts off easy. It just gets easier. The problem is you don't want to be like Nike and just do it. Get into action and just do it. The bottom line is it's just like anything else. You tell me something that you started that it was just easy right off the bat. There is nothing that you start to do. I don't care if you're starting over or whatever. It's never easy. It wasn't easy to be a mom. But it got easier, okay, until they hit teenagers, so we're not going to talk about that, parents. But anyway, I digress, right? You start a new job. It's not easy. It gets easier. The problem is it's the perspective you have in that you are not looking at things from a different perspective. And let me just say it plain and simple. You're looking at it negative, okay? Listen, some days I'm like, let me enunciate. And other days I'm like, listen, stop with the negative Nancy stuff, all right? Look at the positive sides of things. And that's another way to get 1% better, all right? The next thing is limit your screen time. If you are an iPhone user, they show you your screen time. As a matter, I think it's weekly, but you can go in there and check it yourself. If you find that you're spending too much time on social media and that's the thing that's in the way of you reaching your goals, then you actually can go in there and set a timer that limit. Right now, I have my social media limited to I think it's like an hour and 15 minutes a day, and that's across all platforms. Let me be clear. And the reason why I need that much time is because again, I put my content out there. But the way the iPhone is set up is you can set it so you can limit your entertainment time as well. YouTube, because again, it tracks everything. Look at your analytics. Where are you spending majority of your time? Where are you spending majority of your time? You need to know this. This is how we get better. We understand where we are. We understand what we need to do in the present moment to adjust. And I promise you that's going to shape your future. If you don't like where you are right now, that is because you have been spending too much time in the past, not enough time in the present. Therefore, this is the future that you've received. I said what I said, y'all. And that includes me, because there are some things that I haven't achieved yet either. Now, there's some things that's going to be natural progression along the way. Like, let's not get that twisted. But there are some things that I literally could have accomplished over a year ago, but that was on me, right? But am I taking my time in focusing on that, on what I didn't do? No. I'm focusing on what I can do today, knowing that it's going to make for a better tomorrow. And here's the thing. That means I sacrifice. I sacrifice a lot of things. And most people are not willing to sacrifice. Well, anything that you want in life, I don't care what it is, you're going to have to sacrifice something. I said it. I don't care if you want to be a mother, an entrepreneur, you want to go for a different job, you want to make 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures, whatever you want to do, something will have to be sacrificed. Right now, I sacrifice going out a lot. You know, I'm not out a lot. I sacrifice that time right now, right? I try to balance it out as much as possible. But if I'm honest, I'm spending more time working, on accomplishing the goals that I want to accomplish. I'm like, listen, I'll party later. Sometimes I party alone in my house, but we don't have to talk about that right now. Real talk. Like, I don't know about y'all, but now I'm in my 40s. I'll just turn on the music and be in the mirror just popping it. All right? So, again, the most important thing that I want you to take away from this is everything that you're doing right now is shaping your future. I don't care. I started off, I tell this story often, 16 and pregnant, $322 a month, mom on welfare. I lived in apartments that had roaches and mice. But let me tell you something about that mice story. I got up out of here real quick. But that's another story for another day. Why am I telling you my backstory? Why am I telling you that I was 16 and pregnant and came from welfare and worked my way up in corporate America and now own my own company and, and making great money? And it's not, I will say good money, honey. I'm on my way to greatness, okay? I'm on my way to greatness. But I share that to let anybody know that it's possible. It's possible. And when I say hood, I was hood, okay? Hood, right? I still rock my Jersey girl earrings, right? But it's the truth. But here's what I knew. And this is, I pray that somebody hears this. Here's what I knew. I knew that college wasn't for everyone, but education was. I'm going to say it again. I knew that college wasn't for everyone, but education was. And what that meant to me was I was picking up the books. I was reading. I was listening to things. I knew that in order to get better, you have to educate yourself. Personal development. The woman that you see today worked hard to manifest everything that is in my life right now. And let me tell you something about how I was able to do that. I did the hard work on myself, all the traumas, the past pains, all the betrayal, all the hurts and pains. I went to 2 therapists. I had a plethora of coaches because as I grew, right, I had to get another coach that would help me take me to the next level and the next level and so on. Mentors. I got in community groups. I got around people who wanted to do more than just sit around and gossip about other people. And let me tell you something. When you start changing the rooms that you're in and the people that you're talking to and what you're talking about, I promise you your life will change. Now, did I ever do it? 100%. Hello? Yes, I did. I told you, straight hood girl, stood around and spent more time talking about people and what everybody else was doing. And then I looked up one day and realized that I didn't have anything. And I'm over here talking about them, but I didn't have anything that I wanted. I always knew I wanted more. But again, I was sitting around worried about everybody else, and especially a boyfriend and I said a boyfriend because they were not men. I'm not talking about I'm worried about a man. I wasn't worried about a man. I was worried about them boys because that's exactly what they were, boys. Okay? But that's what that's why it's a true statement. Where your focus goes, your energy flows. My energy was flowing in so much negativity. I just was like basking in it. But it was something in me that always wanted more. So I knew that college, I did go, and I went to college, and it wasn't necessarily for me, but I knew I needed education. So I put myself in certification programs. I did so much, and I still, to this day. Personal development, I probably spend at least 10 grand a year on personal development, and it's about to go up. Why am I doing that? Because I understand that education is going to take me to the next level. You have to educate yourself. I don't care if it's YouTube, podcast, getting a life coach in your life, www.info.mosas.com, info@mosas.com. I'm sorry. It's info@mosas.com, MOESASS. If you want to reach out to me, email me. I'm going to say it again because I am not redoing this video. info@moesass.com, or you can reach out to me on Instagram and Facebook. Listen, life coaches are essential. I'm not just saying it to be saying it. I'm telling you what helped me. If you want to know what it took for me to get from $322 a month to 6+, that's what it took. It took me understanding that I had to educate myself. It took me understanding that my trauma and past pains belonged to me, and they didn't belong to my mother. They didn't belong to my father. They didn't belong to the men that touched me when I was, 13 years old. They didn't belong to the men who used and abused me. It belonged to me. So I took responsibility for them and went and got me 2 therapists. And I used them for different modalities. I had a grief therapist and then a general therapist, right? I wanted one specifically on grief because I lost my son, and he, I always tell the story about my son being murdered in 2010. I needed a different counselor for that, a different therapist for that, right? And then I had life coaches, right, to help me take me to the next level. Financial coaches to get my money together, okay? To understand that small investments is better than no investments. Right? These are the things that I did. I got myself from around those people who were still talking about the same things and the same people. I don't have time for that because all the energy that I'm spending talking about them, guess what I'm not doing? Working on me. And if that was for somebody, all the time that you're spending talking about other people, I want you to check your bank account and check around you, see how you living. Do you have everything that you desire? If you don't, I think that it's time to focus on you. Okay? That's exactly what I did. You have to let go. You have to heal. You have to do what we call the shadow work. That's the hard work of looking in the mirror and saying, your stuff stink too. I had to go clean up my toxic behavior. And I understood in life, there are some things that took one. Now, a grown man touching me, that was a party of one, honey. But there were some things that were a party of two. And that was some of those toxic relationships that I was in. I had to understand why I chose them, and I had to understand why I participated in them, because I gladly participated. I can say that I was hit, but I can also say that I hit back. Okay, I mean, I can also say sometimes I hit first if I'm going to be honest. But see, that's the other thing. In order to get better, you have to be honest with yourself. Be honest about the things you did. I had to be honest about the people that I hurt. I had to be honest about the fact that I cheated. I had to be honest about so many things about myself. It wasn't just what happened to me. It's about what I made as a result of what happened to me, what I was putting other people through. But even with all of that, I had to say, so what? All of that stuff happened. Now what am I going to do? I'm going to get myself around the right people in the right places. I'm going to put myself in the places I want to be. I sit around millionaires. I talk to them all the time. And I'm not talking just the beginning. I'm talking multimillionaires. I get around the gurus. I'm in the spaces and in the places of where I want to be. That's so important. So if you want to get better, starting today, let go of what happened yesterday and grow from it. Get into the present moment, refocus, get into action, prioritize, get you some help, get up off social media and watching TV, get in the right communities. And when I say get help, again, info@mosas.com. Message me if you have any sort of questions. But the bottom line is, you cannot do it alone either. Oh, I was supposed to end it there, but I'm gonna not end it for this one reason. The people will say, "Oh, I talk to people. I heard this one guy said to me, "Well, my friends are therapists, and they told me that therapy, you just work through it yourself. So that's why I decided not to go." I promise you, that's a lie. I promise you, that's a lie. I promise you, that's a lie. The reason why most people are questioning the therapist instead of sitting on the couch with the therapist, the reason why most people are questioning a life coach instead of getting with one is because they really don't want to face those demons. I said what I said. But if you want to go to the next level of your life, it's time to face them. It's time to listen. It's time to let it go and grow. It's time. 2022, the year of double portion. If you want the double portion of abundance of love, peace, and I promise you, this peace, y'all. Okay? Wealth, peace, health, and love. Get the right people in your life. I love you. I hope you have the most amazing Sunday, and I'll talk to you next week.